not at the moment. Hi everyone, I'm Allison and I'm the owner of Pediatric Survival Swim, and I'm a survival swimming specialist here in Bradenton and Sarasota, Florida. And this is my cat. He's pretty ornery. His name is Kitty, so he's always upset maybe because his name is Kitty and he's a boy. Who knows? But he has joined me here today. Hi. Today I wanted to pick your brain a little bit and kind of talk about the different kind of swim instruction, at least here in Florida, that we have, and maybe ask you, what is your favorite? What did you find works for your family? Because as I continue on this swim journey, I get to talk to a lot of amazing people. And the fact of the matter is that not every swim instruction is best for every child. And okay, you're gonna have to leave. You're super sweet, but you're totally in my space. So I wanted to talk about that for a few minutes today. I am a survival swimming specialist, so survival and open water training is my jam. That is my thing. But I've heard from a lot of moms that they prefer group classes. And so I kind of want to talk about that a little bit and see if maybe when you're thinking about swim lessons for your child, maybe this will help you decide which is best for you and for your family. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was group classes. Now, group classes you can find at more of a swim school instead of more of a private instructor, at least as far as I've seen. More private instructors tend to just do private lessons. So you're going to have the Y. I've seen Goldfish Swim, Aqua Tots, maybe, and a couple of swim schools like that. So if you just search up swim schools and then research and look on their websites, maybe you'll see pictures of group classes and group lessons and that sort of thing. Group lessons can really be great for a child that is an older child, that can understand waiting in line, waiting their turn, and being able sometimes to hold onto the wall, maybe in the deep end, by his or herself independently for a couple minutes or so until it's their time to swim. So I would suggest maybe a group lesson for an older student. I wouldn't quite necessarily refer it to a child that's under the age of 3, in my opinion. But I haven't really attended many group classes that start at age 3 and under. So where was I going with this? Okay, yes, sorry. A child that could benefit from group lessons is a child that enjoys learning through other people's experiences, learning by observation and watching. My son is this way. He is a tyrant at home. He is crazy doing his own thing, but when he's out in public, when he's at school with his friends, when he is in class with football or anywhere else, he is watching all the other kids. He's watching what they're doing. He's learning how to play the game, how to do different skill sets by watching what other children do and how they react. So if you have a child that's maybe afraid of the water, maybe a group lesson may be good for your older child, so they can kind of watch and observe other children and how they react in the water and how they move their bodies in the water and how they play their emotions while they're in the water. I think that could be helpful for an older student. You also have Mommy and Me classes. Now, for me, I call this water acclimation classes, and I only offer this for my babies. So usually about 12 weeks old up until the child starts to take first steps. And then I do survival swim with that child, or at the age of 6 months, whenever the parent decides they feel comfortable enrolling their child in the survival portion. A lot of swim schools do this earlier then 12 weeks, and some of them do all the way up to like 2 or 3 years of age, where the mom or the dad can come in to the water and help the child learn these important skills, such as breath control and how to kick their feet and how to just move their body in the water and how it feels. Going under with the child to kind of ease them of that fear a little bit of maybe going under by themselves. That may be a good solution for you if you're not quite sure that you're ready for your child to be in survival swimming lessons. I obviously am partial to survival swimming lessons. Survival swimming lessons can start as early as 6 months old, all the way up till 18, all the way up to adult. You're never too old to learn survival swim skills, because it's a skill you could be able to use for the rest of your life, and can really keep you from having an accident in your family or in your own personal life. So I like the survival swim instruction. Sometimes the crying can get to a parent. We're not always able to control that. I like to use a more gentler approach. I like to play. I like a lot of play therapy in my water and in my instruction. And I think that's very important, because, when your child is drawn to the water, oftentimes they're drawn to what's in the water, maybe a toy, maybe a floaty, and that sort of thing. So I like to teach my babies and toddlers how to use their skills to get out of a situation if they have fallen in due to a toy. I also like it because they have to use their skill in spite of having a toy in their hand or in their mouth, or maybe a pacifier in their mouth. So being able to work on those skills and keep those toys in hand, or dropping those toys, whatever works for you, as long as you maintain that float and get to that rotating position to get air or get to a wall. That's what we teach: aquatic problem solving. So I like survival swim skills for that. Now, some private instructors don't believe in toys, and I know due to COVID that, some of the toys are being eliminated. I like my children to just pick out one toy, and then that's the toy that we play with for your lesson, and then I put it in the box to be sanitized, and then so everything's fresh and ready for the next day. Some don't like the distraction of toys, and that's okay. You're there to learn. It's purely business, and you don't. And some instructors don't want to promote being distracted by objects in the water. And so I kind of feel the opposite. I feel like you need to be able to have those skills in spite of what's in the water. But some people see it as teaching water safety by just not putting those toys in at all. So either way, whatever you prefer. And then some instructors like to teach just the child being able to rely on his or herself to do their own skills independently. And then some instructors like to invite the parent into the water, maybe after they've mastered the skill. This is what I do, and I know a few other instructors that do the same. And so they teach the parent how to maintain that skill as well, so that they can further practice outside of the water. Now, sometimes that comes to backfire because they practice it too much and end up interfering with swim lessons, and then there's some kind of bad habit that forms that we have to fix. But I feel like it's important for a parent to know what to look for and what to do if they see a problem arise, and then if something happens, we can just come back and fix it. So you can also have lessons at a private instructor's pool. Or, I love this one too, traveling instructors that travel to your house and can do swim lessons from your pool or your backyard. And I do this too. I charge more for this because it takes spots away from other kids that could be, coming into my pool right after. So it does take time away. So I don't like it so much, but it is fun. It's fun to be able to see all the different pools, to be able to see how the child interacts in their own personal backyard and setting, how they interact with their siblings. And sometimes if the sibling is a lot older, I'll do a swim with the sibling and the child to see what they're like and if they can still maintain that skill with all of this different interaction that's going on. I like to see that as well. So mobile swim schools are popping up everywhere, and it's so much fun to see. And I hope they stick around. And in fact, I know they're going to stick around. Due to COVID, they've really been skyrocketing. So that's great to see. I love the swim mobile idea, and it's fun to watch that. But I also, on the flip side, I kind of like babies and infants and toddlers, children, to be able to perform their skill in any pool. So going to a different place other than your own pool and backyard sometimes can be helpful so that they know that they can use those skills in other areas other than just their backyard pool. Because sometimes it can be a little bit confusing for them. I have had some where they do the skill perfectly in my pool, but they won't do the skill at home. So I do have to make a home visit for that sort of thing, kind of teach the child that you use the swim skills everywhere. It's not just at home. It's not just in my pool. It's everywhere. And mostly that comes from 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, not quite the babies. So those are a little bit different. And so I'm trying to think. We have done group classes. We have done private lessons. We have done mommy and me classes. So I'd love to hear, and travel lessons too as well. I would love to hear if you know of any other swim venues that incorporate swim lessons. Are they survival? Are they traditional? Some parents like the survival aspect, and some parents like the traditional aspect because they don't like their child being able to being dunked underwater, being flipped upside down, crying all the time. And I totally understand that. So traditional instructions are just what some people prefer, and that's okay. So I'd love to know, what do you prefer? Do you prefer traditional lessons, or do you prefer more of the survival skill? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what you think. And what's your favorite swim school? I'd love to know. Who's voting for the Y? Who's voting for something local? Who's voting for an instructor who has their own personal little swim business? Or who likes the mobile swim companies? I'd love to know. So this is Allison Hogue with Pediatric Survival Swim. I am signing out, and I'll see you next time.